Oh, Juice, I have been dreading this day. I have been dreading this day so much. I had to open my big mouth, and I didn't realize how many people actually cared so much about AJ, and we set an incentive goal, and it got hit in like 5 minutes. So here we are, and I have to watch Dune Part 1 tonight. But I am happy to have you here with me.
Yes. Happy to be here. I watched the first one, or I watched this movie before. Wanted to rewatch it before the second one. So I'm here of free will. Mike's here of force. However, I'm yet to do my stream incentive, which is make a Planet of the Base keytar cover. But I'm very excited to do that.
We have to do that
eventually.
Well, let's see what Benny has to say.
I saw Whatchalong die. Whatchalong is dead.
For roping.
I like that.
You're a jabroni. Go ahead.
All right. So let's just get this party going. So to get me through this, for reference, this is vodka with a splash of cherry 7-Up. So kind of like a mini dirty Shirley. Cheers, everybody. All right. So welcome to a special Tuesday show episode of What the Show. Juice and I are going to party tonight. Bethany might pop in periodically. Bethany's a little bit worn out and probably doesn't want to deal with what's about to happen with me. I don't know what's going to happen. I might get really mad. I might go to sleep. I might put another movie on in the middle of it. I don't know what's going to happen, because I have a visual representation of what happened when I saw this movie in theaters. This is the correct depiction of exactly what happened. About 15 minutes into the movie, my brain just turned off. And like Bethany attested that, she's like, I've never seen you check out like that. Like I hated this movie. The worst thing for me for a movie is to be boring, and that is why I hated this movie so much. They're using all this terminology and stuff that, like, you have to pay attention to. And I'm gonna be terrible at this at home. I've outright said before, I'm awful about watching movies at home when you have to pay attention. I'd much rather go watch anything in the theater. This one was just like, watching it in the theater was a little bit of a chore for me, and I never really had the urge to watch it again. But because everybody was so cool to AJ, I agreed to do this tonight. What was your thought though when you saw it?
Yeah, it was one of those where I think I enjoyed a lot of it, but I couldn't keep track of too much. So I want to watch it again just to be able to remember. I just remember like little shiny sword things and flashing, a lot of sand and jumping around. That's about all I got. So
I couldn't tell you one character's name. I couldn't tell you one.
I know like Atreyu. Or no, that's Neverending Story.
It's Shai Hulud. I remember that because the only reason I remember that is because of the band.
Trebek? Not Atreides? Something like that.
Wait a minute. Buck has not seen this movie? Buck, you're so much luckier, more fortunate than I am. I can tell you straightforward, the day that I watched this, so Bethany and I decided to go see it on a Sunday afternoon. I came out, if I remember right, in October. And literally, I think I was also mad because that threw 6 touchdowns against the Bengals game, and I missed the end of the game to go to the movie. So that probably also contributed to my hatred towards the movie. But before we get into this, it is going to be, you can find it still on Netflix. Part of the reason we chose to do this, like right now, I saw it's leaving Netflix, so I figured it makes sense to do it this week. Plus the opening of Dune 2, which seems to be getting absolutely rave reviews. I have no intention of seeing Dune 2. However, we're going to do something now. There's a small caveat to this. Juice and I both right now cannot access our Streamlabs. We are waiting for AJ to kind of chime in with us. He's going to hopefully, I don't think he's going to be on stream, but he can message us if we do happen to get anything. We made a couple of little incentives for tonight to make the stream interactive in addition to watching the movie. So right here we have it. So if anybody does donate $15, you can join the stream. If you donate $20, Juice and I will take a social drink, whether it be a big swig of a beer or take a shot or something like that, whatever you want. And if you donate $25, I will have to compliment the movie. Like, I will have to say something nice about Dune Part 1. And as you can see at the bottom, and I have no intention of seeing Dune 2. If for some reason, and I don't think it's going to happen, but if for some reason tonight's stream hits $250 in donations, I'll go bite the bullet and see the movie in theaters. All right. So, we'll try to do a little bit of good with this. Obviously, this came from something very good. I'm going to leave this banner running at the bottom. If you're joining us, it is on Netflix, it's on HBO Max. Both of us have it set up to Netflix, and apparently it kicks in right away. So we have it queued to 000. We're going to do a countdown in about a minute or so to get kicked off, and then God help everybody, because I am not looking forward to this.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
So while we're just we'll give everybody a minute or two if you're still setting up, just to get it queued up. Give you a little bit of a preview about what's going on tomorrow night's What the Show. We're doing a no format show for a very specific reason, because March is very formatted. So we decided for the last non-March stream, we're going to just do a balls to the wall. There's no format, no guests. It's just the four of us having our classic happy hour, basically, because March Madness starts next week. And as it's become tradition for What the Show, we're doing the heroes, the chaotic neutral, and then 2 nights of heroes brackets. So next week will be the the villains. And we always have to have a guest judge because there's 4 of us and we can always have ties. Brandon Buckingham is going to join us next week as our extra panelist. Juice, do we have confirmation on if a certain someone's doing chaotic neutral with us?
Everything involving that's still up in the air.
Okay, so chaotic neutral is TBD. But for heroes, we've got two longtime friends of the show, Moose Haas and John Getz, will be joining us as the panelists for the heroes bracket. So those are always a lot of fun. They're some of the most lighthearted and fun debates that we have. The brackets are one of the highlights of the year for me. So definitely looking forward to that, way more than tonight. But I feel like we shouldn't ramble too much longer because this is a long ass movie. So I'm gonna do the countdown. I'm gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and say go. When I say go, hit play.
Okay.
So 5,
Ow.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. Turn it down a little so we don't get copyright strike. But so yeah, we got the Warner Brothers logo on screen right now. Make sure we are in the same place. My hopes were still high at this point that I might get something, I liked. And the thing is, this really does have, the cast of this movie is phenomenal. You look at it, it's ridiculous cast.
Right.
I don't know, like Denny Villeneuve, however you say his last name, Villeneuve. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, something like
Villeneuve, okay. Denny Villeneuve. I'm kind of indifferent about most of his movies.
that. Yeah, he's got some like Prisoners. I'm gonna put subtitles on.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing because I can barely hear it.
In case. Yeah. Talk and I'm normally anti subtitles, but I'm normally not watching a movie.
Right.
on a stream.
I don't know. Maybe with the subtitles, I'll understand it a little bit better and won't hate it
Yeah,
quite as much. I don't know. I mean, this movie looks fantastic. I'm not going to deny anything about like the cinematography or anything like that.
Right.
And I think this is also partially like they got all these so many. I never read the books. So many different names that, like, even more so than Lord of the Rings. I had trouble following it the whole time.
Yeah. Hey, Ed.
This is the like. I guess my hot take on the internet is that I hated this movie. I've gotten into quite a few battles with people over this one. That's for certain. It is a very weird sound mix watching this at home. Like I know that Zendaya is like whispering, but like some of the things are coming so loudly at me, and other things seem so quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I might have lost a second or two putting the subtitles on, so you might actually be just like a hair ahead of me.
Yeah.
If it's like a second or two, it's no big deal.
Yeah, I doubt. Let's see. Year 101.91. You just see
I just passed that, so we might be at the same place.
Perfect.
Caladan, homeworld of House, or whatever it said.
Atreides. That was the name I was trying to think of. Atreides.
Atreides, the never-ending story.
Yeah. Yeah, like now that it's dialogue, I have to turn it way up. I can't.
Like it's really low. Again, my brain turned off, but I didn't realize how low this dialogue was in theaters. But there have been several parts that have come out very loud.
Right.
Oh, Ed's asking about drinking game. I was told to take a drink every time they say desert power.
Desert power. It's the kind of movie where you appreciate, like, you want like the cliff notes.
Yes, 100%.
I'll do that for some movies sometimes. Like I'll be watching it and I like get like a third or halfway in and I'm like, I clearly missed something. So I'll just go to like Wikipedia and read like the plot outline.
That's something I do on the regular with a lot of movies is I will, right after I watch it, I will go back. I do that even more so with TV shows. Like Loki, for example. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I go and just read the recap just to kind of like, okay, to, rather than trying to find specific answers.
Right.
This really did get very quiet. It might turn up even a little more.
Oh.
The Fremen. Like Shai Hulud, when I saw this, that stuck out for me because it was a hardcore band from the late 90s and early 2000s. So I was like, oh, that's where that came from. It is amazing how many metal bands are named after super nerdy shit.
Right, right.
So spice is the most valuable substance in the universe.
Spice. Do you have a favorite like spice or like seasoning for food?
Good question. You know, like, you know, it's boring to say, but I love salt. But, you know, that's a very, very boring answer.
I don't know.
I
Use a lot of garlic powder.
garlic powder's. I
Yeah.
love garlic powder, especially like a good piece of garlic toast on Italian bread. That's you're talking my language right now. You put a little bit of cheese in the garlic powder. Oh, you're talking my language right now. Like Oscar Isaac is completely audible to me there, whereas one scene earlier I could barely hear anything.
Yeah.
This is just so much exposition.
Yeah, right.
Like the whole, if I remember right, I think that's kind of what made me turn my brain off, because I'm like, there's nothing is happening. They're just telling me. They're not showing me anything.
Yeah.
We are a house of Trades. There is no fall we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
It's crazy with Oscar Isaac. Like, it seemed like for a minute there that he was like Hollywood's next big thing, and I feel like Pedro Pascal has overtaken that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Chalamet is a hot name, right? Like, I enjoyed Wonka. Wonka wasn't anything like spectacular, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was good, not great. It's been a rough year, though. The first couple of movies, there hasn't been like a home run movie I've seen so far.
Yeah.
In theaters.
I still got to see a few. Argyle.
Frankenstein was Argyle is a fucking train wreck, but a fun train wreck. Like Argyle, I think Argyle is aware that it's Argyle.
Yeah.
Lisa Frankenstein was fine. Mean Girls was not good at all. I did finally watch Blackberry, which was excellent.
Oh yeah,
excellent movie.
Yeah, I still need to see that.
It's on Hulu now. That's how I finally get to watch it. Yeah, if I had seen that prior to the end of the year, that would have been in my top 5, I think.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I can think that high. No, here we go. It's Aquaman.
Always, you know that.
I feel like Jason Momoa is in a way is typecast.
Yeah, I feel like him and Batista are starting to.
Batista does have a couple of comedic, like he did Stuber and he did the one with the
Oh yeah,
he did like what was the one with the where he was the bodyguard for the girl? Was that Stuber? He had two of them in a row that were around the pandemic that were more comedic.
yeah.
This is very weird though. Like I don't watch the subtitles very often. This is a different experience.
Yeah. Right.
It's crazy. Our theater here does the subtitles like for one movie a night, but like Bethany and a couple of occasions were like, we're not going to like, oh, that showtime's great. Oh, it's open subtitle. And
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think my theater offers that at all.
because our theater actually has very limited showtimes. They go from like 1 to like 10 on the weekends. So each screen might show 2 or 3 times a day. And when one of them is open subtitle, we're like, well, wait for another day.
Yeah.
Duncan, Idaho. What a name.
Duncan, Idaho. It's like a bad Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Or parody character.
You got all this like Arrakis and Hormades or whatever the hell it is, and Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho.
My name is Duncan, Idaho. Sounds like somebody Jake Yacovetto would hang out with.
The Adventures of Jake Yacovetto and Duncan, Idaho. Oh.
Like, what the fuck? They're not showing you anything. It's just them walking and he's explaining what this plot is, and they never show anything.
Yeah.
No. By making an alliance with a friend.
Duncan, Idaho. I feel like we should drink every time Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, Duncan, Idaho.
Oh, Desert Power. There's our first one.
Oh. Yeah, it's like a Jake Yacovetto, Duncan, Idaho, like Rick and Morty type thing.
A great man doesn't seek food. He's called to him. And he answers.
The sound mix is throwing me off.
Oh, wait. So Jason Momoa is Duncan, Idaho?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. I had to look it up.
I know this was one of those weird day and dates with HBO Max and came out in 2021, you know, when people weren't completely going to theaters and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw them projecting this weekend that that the sequel could make over 80 million. I'm like, will it really?
Yeah, right. Duncan, I know.
Another one. Yeah, it is weird because like scene by scene, this is fluctuating.
Right.
We have a sound bar, so I don't have it up like crazy high. I don't have the bass up that high right now either. But like, if something happens, this is funny actually. I mentioned that and you're on screen. You want to know what makes the subwoofer go craziest? If we play the original What the Show theme on the TV.
Oh, really?
The kick drum on the original What the Show theme.
Oh, yeah.
It makes the house.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that, I've never seen the original movie, the 80s movie. And I know they did the Sci-Fi Network did the mini series. I don't know how long ago that was. But like, did they just like in those? Did they just have all this exposition without like?
I can't remember from the 80s one. I never saw the miniseries. I feel like they're like the 80s one has just a lot of standing around and talking from what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I think when done and here like the sound just like skyrocketed compared to what it was.
Yeah.
I don't mind like there are some movies that I that are just talking about. My favorite movie is Mallrats, and that whole movie is just talking, but it's done in a completely different way.
You're right. Right.
Speaking of Batista. It's funny, we went to the theater 3 weeks ago and they had them there, and like I have no intention of buying it because I don't like Dune, but I just saw it, and William, you know this, William, because you're in the fantasy football chat now. Like I had to take a picture of it at the very least. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
The thing is like, Bethany and I are like, oh, maybe we should get one and put it on eBay. There's so many of them on eBay. Like that's not worth the investment right now.
Yeah.
Like everyone and their brother had the same idea. So they're not worth much.
Yeah.
Now this looks like Jurassic Park there. Okay, so I care about these people. Why?
Yeah, we're the two worst people to be commenting on a movie like this.
Yeah, seriously. Both of us just like, the fuck, you know? I'm like somebody who genuinely loved the first movie would have such a different commentary. Like
Yeah,
if Jacob
right.
London did this commentary, it would be something wildly different. Oh man, when he found out that I hated this movie, he's like, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. How does she know about my dreams? She must be some kind of evil soothsayer or something. Nothing has happened. This movie has been on for 20 minutes and nothing has happened.
He's getting a head rub.
Oh, I'm glad it said it in sign language. That was a useful that was a useful subtitle right there. Oh, we got another one.
Funny.
Thanks, Netflix. And a whole lot of nothing going on. I'm starting to get angry. Oh, eerie voices. I feel like this is going to be turned into me just yelling at the subtitles now.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Oh.
How dare you? How dare you use the voice?
I double dare you to use the voice.
Paul breathes heavily.
Oh, it's like National Treasure 2.
Yep.
Gum jabber. Is that a Willy Wonka candy?
Yeah, probably. Does this motherfucker just have chocolate on him at all times? Like that should just be a shtick in every movie from now on. He just has chocolate at the ready.
Oh, I didn't even think about
That's
he's Wonka. Yeah.
He is Wonka.
I didn't actually see that. I would like to though, but
like I said, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Wonka's it's not bad. Nothing out of this world. It's
Right.
not the best movie of the year by any stretch, but you'll enjoy it. It's made a shitload of money. Yeah, okay. So we got okay. Yeah. Do something. There is absolutely fucking nothing that has happened in this damn movie.
He's got to overcome his fear of boxes.
I have to overcome my fear of not having my chocolate. Cue that ominous music. Oh, the dramatic lamentation music. Oh, there will be nothing. So there's been nothing, and now there's going to be more nothing? All we're seeing is like premonitions and shit. Being told about the past and premonitions. Nothing can happen now. It's all either stuff that happened before or stuff that's going to happen. They can't actually tell a story of what's currently happening.
Right.
William Harold. Legend. I mean, this is valid. Like, this movie literally the first about a half hour, close to a half hour now.
Yeah,
nothing has happened.
true.
It's just been talking. This is like the exact opposite of Mad Max Fury Road. Like Mad Max Fury Road, there's no plot, but it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's probably my number one most anticipated movie this year, by the way, is Furiosa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who's directing that?
Furiosa?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
Miller.
it is George Miller. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's Miller. Yeah.
Nice.
There's only a handful of movies coming out this year that like I have a genuine, like, at least as of right now, excitement for. Maybe, you know, more material will come out for certain movies that make me more excited, but it's not
Yeah.
a lot that I'm like,
No, I agree.
I guess it had to be expected though with the strikes and everything.
Yeah, true.
It's funny because in our fantasy football chat we've been talking about, because we're going to do the same thing we did last year because it worked very well, where we're going to assign everybody a movie for the draft order.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And just picking 14 movies has been like, it's going to be tough. Like, somebody is going to get a movie that makes like $5 million.
Right.
So it's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so far this movie is Close Encounters, 7, Indiana Jones,
Yeah, a little bit of Indiana Jones, and then, but like
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka. Yeah, I mean the whole thing is Willy Wonka. Oh, the one. So Neo. This is Matrix too.
Yeah,
The
Matrix and Star Wars.
and Star Wars. Yep.
Imperium's a band, I think.
Imperium is a song by Machine Head. AJ and I have a bet. I forget what AJ's side of the bet is, but it's just our one-on-one matchup anyone who doesn't know, I have a sleeve of Simpsons tattoos on my leg. If I lose, I have to add Poochie. I forget what AJ's side of the bet is, but if I lose, I have to add Poochie to the Simpsons leg. I'm asking myself that right now. When are they going to get to the fireworks factory? That's what this movie should be called. When are they going to get to the fireworks factory, part 1? I see the comparisons all the time of Dune and Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, yes, the first movie is. You are correct, Lord of the Rings at least was a slow build. They brought like one character in at a time, made you care about, gave you a reason to care about them. Yes, the first movie, the first half of Fellowship of the Ring is very slow paced, but it's building the characters in a way that makes you actually want to learn more about them. This is just like throwing a dart, throwing a dart, throwing a dart. Here's another character. You don't give a shit about this person. The audio is going up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord of the Rings does do a good job of introducing the characters in ways that you can understand. It's not too much at once. Well, and it's like it's flashback. Now here's the story. This is like so much flashbacks and story, and some future, past, present.
We're talking about the sound and stuff. Like I actually had to just turn you up.
I did. Yeah, I did turn you up. Yeah,
I turned you up right there.
I did too. I have the Netflix volume is almost all the way down.
Like I have this on my sound bar, and like I have it on like level 2 of 5. It's not on very loud at all.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie John Mariano who gave me the sound bars of my wedding gift. So that's why I have the sound bar.
Right on. I somehow like disconnected my sound bar from my TV, and I cannot figure out how to get it back to being connected. So I just have a sound bar sitting there with no volume coming through.
We did have to replace the cable for it at one point. So it's a distinct possibility. But it was funny because when I changed it and we got a new one, my lord, the sound quality just skyrocketed with the fresh cable.
Nice.
And now we're in Scotland.
Yeah. This is Braveheart.
Yeah. Patriotic music. So we're 35 minutes in, and we're maybe getting to actual plot? Maybe.
To fear a lot. That guy looks like a Star Wars character.
He does. That just looks miserable with the sand flying around.
Yeah.
was the movie? District 9. This is also is giving me slight vibes of right now.
I haven't seen that in forever.
You never saw District 9?
No, I've seen it. But it's just been so long ago.
I say that's a great movie.
I have little memory. I think I have it on Blu-ray.
That was actually the very first Blu-ray I had, and that Blu-ray takes fucking forever to load.
Oh.
Because it's it's the early stages of Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And now this helicopter is turning into a fan. That's a weird transformer.
You're gonna need a lot of fans in the desert, though. It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun if there's a transformer that just turned into a box fan.
What would its name be?
Fanatron. Yeah.
Blows the bot.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Fanny pack.
I saw Superman Returns when it came out in theaters because I was working at the time to take a drink. And I've never watched it since.
I've maybe seen it twice. First when it came out, and then maybe a few years after that.
I think I watched the night before it technically released. And yeah, I've never seen it since. I'll take it nice as a good one. I'll go grab another drink. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'll probably go when you get back.
Yep. Tag.
Well, you missed nothing.
Oh, so the whole beginning of the movie.
That looked like the Death Star before you could see it was mountains. Kind of had a Death Star
And
exterior vibe.
The sets are fantastic. Like the look of this movie is good, but nothing is fucking happening. There's absolutely nothing that goes on in this goddamn movie.
All right, I'll be good.
I haven't watched this in 2.5 years because I saw it in theaters and haven't watched it since. But yeah, I'm getting PTSD of being in that theater. Like right now, I'm paying more attention, I think, than I did in theater because at this point in the theater, my brain had turned off. Oh, I have it out just in case. I mean, the whiskey might come into play. We're about like 40 minutes into the movie and absolutely fucking nothing has happened.
You're so grumpy.
We've been
So
talking.
much is happening.
Juice and I have been discussing like this sound mix is crazy because there are some parts that it's like inaudible. And other parts that it's like blowing your ears out. Both of us switched to subtitles because we couldn't hear. Like the first scene with Willy Wonka and his mom, we couldn't hear anything. So we both
Willy Wonka and his mom.
Yeah.
I also just love that the mom's name is Lady Jessica because that's just like so basic. It's like this crazy magical world, and it's like Jessica.
And then there's Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah. She knows about her weapon.
Uh-oh. It won't be enough. So Neo is the one. We've been over this.
Got the sight. Okay. Ooh, chilled. What is Juice doing? He's just getting some cleaning done because he got bored of this movie.
He went to go get another and make himself a drink.
Oh, I see.
We tagged. I got my second beer, and he went to go get something to drink too. So, like, we're at Lord of the Rings now. This is apparently Sting.
No. There are some weird, I don't know, things are happening in this movie. Oh, he went to fold laundry.
Oh, so this Tooth of Shai Hulud.
Ancient meditation music playing.
Oh, some of the subtitles have been good. Like one of them, like they put like in the movie itself, they have subtitles for sign language, and Netflix added in sign language.
Yeah. Hi, Benny.
Like there's Lisan Al
The
Gaib.
spice.
Lisan Al Gaib.
Let's get the spice.
Here's Willy Wonka upset he doesn't have his chocolate. And now they're just wasting water on the sand.
I don't know, man. If I'm not Oscar Isaac, I'm asking for a paternity test. You know what I mean?
That's not my kid.
Like, your Willy Wonka here is way too much of a white boy to be. No, I'm not buying it. That's the whitest boy I've ever seen. No way, Oscar Isaac is your dad. I'm just saying.
Juice, you're muted.
Hi, Juice.
Hey, just been laughing.
Like, I can excuse the rest of this sci-fi fantasy shit in this movie, but you're expecting me to believe that Timothy Shamalama Mama is Oscar Isaac's son? Get the fuck out of here with that. No way. That's where I draw the line of my suspension of disbelief.
Line drawn.
That's where it be drawn. Oh. We're learning about the sandwalk.
I heard
It's
it
ready.
beeping. Is it quiche?
Is it quiche? Burrow bush. This is all something you find at Bath and Body Works. You're like San Verbena. I have smelled that before.
Yeah, like I will say that the subtitles on this particular movie, I'm like, I have no clue what the fuck they were saying. So this is kind of helping a little bit. So we started the movie about 8 minutes into the stream. So we are at like 45 minutes into this movie. And nothing has happened.
Y'all got so much movie ahead. He's looking at this little robot.
Now it's like Richie Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And here we have the Tree of Life.
It's that's okay. So that's what I was saying to Mike about why I'm actually excited for the sequel. Is at the point in this movie where it finally got good, it ended, and I was like, oh, like this part we could have. So hopefully that means that the sequel actually will be good, because the first 2 hours of this movie are just a bunch of buildup.
It's a slog. And the first 2 hours of this movie turned me off so much that I didn't give a shit about the ending. A hunter seeker.
Some of these transitions are very interesting.
Take the life of my son. Go catch some spies.
Nothing will ever make Blade Runner 2049 break even.
For Blade Runner 2049. That's what's funny.
That's right. It's the same director.
Oh, just stop it. Sorry.
This sound mix is weird.
Low speech.
It just Netflix just like threw shade at it.
On that map, you place your HATES means nothing to avoid. His wife is under our protection, and by extension, her son.
Oh.
Allow them the dignity of exile.
Oh, the Exile House.
What happens is you get sent into exile, and then you have to go do your little mission, and then you come back from exile, and they're like, "Oh, so and so still in the house." That's what it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I said I would not harm. I shall not. Yes, it takes the lead.
Spice.
Desert Power of Sinister music playing.
I did this
Ooh.
part
Oh.
of the movie. I was like, "Oh, he just floats on
He
up out of there."
just might. Oh. They said
Does he have just? Does he have really long legs, or
Maybe that's what it is.
Or-
he floats.
was he float?
Floats.
Oh, my current drink is too hot yet. I'll finish my shot.
If it was Spaceball to be so into it, we should have just called it that. Spectacular.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta suffer through
Men,
this movie.
men murmuring. Well, men were they were doing some murmuring.
Like, this movie is more exposition than fucking Oppenheimer.
I like this little umbrella though.
An imperial.
Yeah, you gotta get with my popcorn.
Ah.
Also, like, why does this kid? Why does Willy Wonka not know anything? Like, this is like his family business, and he doesn't know shit about it. No, actually, that part is believable. Typical spoiled rich kid. That tracks.
And there's our fan plane
Yeah.
or fan helicopter, whatever the hell it is.
Is this what's his face? Ah, yeah. What's his face?
Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho.
There he is.
Every time they say Duncan, Idaho, we drink.
Oh, it's too hot.
I swear you're getting
Jessica
taller.
Duncan. Like some of it. That's such a weird line. How big is the place? They're like, that's the take. Yeah, going with it.
Do they like chocolate?
Do they have any Oompa Loompas?
Did you see the little orange man?
Yeah, this is just all an origin story for how he found the
100%.
Oompa Loompas.
Yes.
The Willy Wonka origin.
We all thought it was Wonka was the prequel, but this
No.
is the prequel to Wonka. You have to watch this, then you watch that one. And then finally you can just watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in the Wilder version.
True. But isn't the actual book called
The
Charlie
book is
and the
Charlie,
Chocolate
and the
Factory?
Depp version is
Yes,
Charlie.
and the Chocolate Factory. But for some odd reason, the Wilder one, they were like, fuck it. Everyone's here for Willie. We're naming it that.
Right. Nobody cares about the kid.
Who cares about damn kid?
Welcome, Stilgar.
Stilgar.
Okay. Okay.
That actually might be my favorite line in the whole movie. For the gift of your
Thank you
body's
for the gift of
moisture.
your body's
Body's moisture.
Oh. Oh, spice.
Guys, I kind of wish that Javier Bardem was doing his King Triton.
Oh my God.
'Cause that
Have you seen Little Mermaid yet, Juice?
No.
Javier Bardem is in a different movie
yeah.
than everyone else.
I'm like, I don't know what he's doing, but I kind of was into it though.
Like every time he was on screen in that movie, you're like, what's gonna happen next? Like you just never knew.
Oh man.
But your sieges will be yours forever. And you will never be hunted while I go to them.
Well, we're at about give or take the 55-minute mark. Nothing has happened.
We've had some spit. We've had some fans. We've had some boxes.
It's quality stuff.
There was some shaky cam with some
Yeah.
sword fighting.
There's some chocolate.
Lots of dramatic
presumably.
music. Well, there's chocolate and the chocolate. I don't know. That's all I remember of that song. He says chocolate a lot. How many times do you think he says chocolate in that song?
A lot. And then there's the scrub song.
Yeah.
If you
Scrub.
if you drink every time that they say scrub in that song, that's not gonna end well.
What's the other song? I don't know. You know what? I'd take that though right now.
Juice hasn't seen Wonka yet. Said Wonka was fine.
I think that was cute. My favorite thing is no one in this movie knows anything. It's just people being like, this, let me explain you this. This, this is what it is. This.
They're fierce, but loyal. Thanks, Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho. Great name. Honestly, 10 out of 10 name.
Oh God. 140
I
degrees.
just feel like we took a really long time to get to the good bit.
I'm surprised that in Dune they use Fahrenheit. Like most places use Celsius.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in practice,
Yeah,
it's
and
Fahrenheit.
Denis Villeneuve is Canadian too, so
Mm,
he
Yeah.
would naturally
it should be Celsius, you'd think.
he would naturally go Celsius, I'm sure.
What is this? Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
That's where Warner Brothers stepped in. They're like, no.
Denny.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, I'm sure it was in the book.
I wonder if there's like the international versions if they change that.
Yeah, it could be regional.
Lord knows that, they thought we were idiots in America and we had Sorcerer's Stone
Yeah.
and not Philosopher's Stone for Harry Potter.
I never understood that.
I was like, why couldn't we have called it Philosopher's Stone? Again, it's a whole magical world we're reading about, but they were like, those dumb American kids, they won't understand.
They won't understand what a philosopher is.
But yeah, there are all those sorcerers running around town. We know that.
We deal with a lot of sorcery in the States. That's what it is. Yeah, 100%.
Oh boy.
We're really about body moisture in this movie. Aren't we?
Yeah. You got to recycle all those bodily fluids.
Most impressive.
Want to still see the pool?
No, this is my first time.
Oh.
You're natural.
It does look so, but it's slick fashion. It's not changing.
Duncan, Idaho.
I'm just that smart. That's a great beard, though. Look at that beard.
Mm.
Like, what the fuck is this sound mix?
We're off in the sand. We're in the dunes. It's my dune.
In the dune.
All hail Shai Hulud.
Also, and this is no offense, I'm not here to like body shame anyone, but little Willy Wonka here is really the one who's gonna like lead the revolution. Like
Apparently.
a strong wind could take that guy out, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, he just looks sort of like a little twig of a man. Duncan, Idaho, I don't want to follow that man into battle. You know what I mean? But little Willy Wonka, no.
Yeah.
He does need to eat his hand.
That is fair.
That's fine.
I feel like when they put this back on physical media again, if it ever happens, they should put this commentary on with Denny's,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe like simultaneously. So Denny's talking at the same time that we're talking, and we're talking about shit that's real, and he's talking about, well, this is where I thought my film needed to go, and I'm like, oh, shut up, Denny.
Do you think you could get Denis Villeneuve and He Who Must Not Be Named in a room together? It's just so pretentious that the room just explodes. Because
They were about a week or two ago.
In a room together, did the room explode from pretentiousness?
But He Who Should Not Be Named said this was the Empire Strikes Back of.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, that's right. Even though it's only 2 movies.
Mm-hmm. He Who Shall Not Be Named, who's probably going to win an Oscar in
Fuck
2
that
weeks.
fucking guy.
And again, the movie is. I didn't mind the movie. It wasn't my favorite movie of the year. It was good. I liked it overall. It's of the Best Picture nominees. It's not my favorite, but I get why it's going to win.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who what the show is endorsing. That is Mr. Giamatti. We endorse the holdovers
We are
Yeah.
big.
entirely.
Oscar for him.
I don't think he's gonna win it. I would love it if he wins, but I don't think he's going to.
No.
And don't get me wrong, Killian deserves it, but I would love to see Giamatti win.
I mean, for all we know, Cillian Murphy never got to sit a moment on set. So just for all that standing.
Yeah. The opposite Donald Sutherland effect.
Yep. Like, I'm not mad at Killian. It's just.
Yes, I do want him to take his Oscar to In and Out. Well, gents, this has been a great time.
Oh, you're leaving?
But I'm gonna let y'all keep on keeping on.
Oh my god.
You can do it. I'm proud of all of you.
I'm tempted to put Brothers on right now.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh boy, this is just like
Fun.
we are well over an hour into the movie now. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie in about an hour.
But like, what kind of movie are you if it takes 2 fucking hours to get anywhere? We'll find a way. This is the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. I'm about to switch to whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely want to know, everybody who loves this movie, like, what about this first hour is astounding? Like, please explain. And again, like, I'm not the type of person who automatically dismisses a movie because of its runtime. Because there are some long movies that are justifiably long. But, like, what about this first hour of this movie was so fucking necessary? Luna is sound asleep. And I pet her and got a spot, and she started thumping. Oh, by the way, Luna's here. Say hi, Luna. Say hi to everybody, Luna. And here's just a sand vomit. You listen to Willy Wonka. But tense music stops.
Ethereal music playing. Ooh.
That's not even a competition.
Luna or Duna? Luna or Duna. That's kind of a good Star Wars character.
Yeah. She gets her tooth pulled next week.
Yeah. Her and Idaho Jones. Or Idaho Jones. Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah. Idaho Jones is Indiana's like weird cousin that's not invited to family gatherings.
Oh, Paul. And he's been betrayed. Tense music continues.
Oh boy.
Here comes Anakin Skywalker's worst nightmare.
Here comes the Jawas.
Okay. All right, we are roughly an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, and something happened, and they're just blowing it off.
Your own eyes. It's plain to see. Everything they've done is in shambles. You've been set up to fail.
I care about is just helping. Death isn't kindness to equipment.
You know what will happen if I don't get Spike's production back on track.
I'm not here to take your part. Arachnids have seen men like you come and
Well, yeah.
take good care of your family.
He's not going to do that. That's just not in his disposition right now. And now we're back to this dude. Oh. Willy Wonka, why are you partaking in the spice?
It's not good for your teeth.
No. It makes the chocolate taste so much worse. So now you're hallucinating. Your eyes are wide open and you're having visions. You might want to get that checked out. Homie just can't live in the moment.
Nope.
And there's Mary Jane Watson. What, like?
All right. Their
Okay.
boyfriend, girlfriend now.
He's foreseeing the vision of someone he's never met. And yes, it is confusing. Crystal clear, like Crystal Pepsi. Oh boy. Oh. So how do you barely know you're pregnant? I have questions. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. I barely know I'm pregnant. Okay.
I don't think that's English.
No.
It's belching. Sounds like he's playing an instrument.
Like a what is that called? The Bashar speaking Bashkaris. What is the name of that instrument that makes that noise? The big horn looking thing. Damn straight, Alan Smithy. Damn straight. I never saw the miniseries version, but it's better than this shit. But he's a visionary. Yeah. Visionary who's now an hour and 15 minutes into this damn movie and nothing has fucking happened.
Yeah.
We had throat singing though. No, the Bene Gesserit. My beard's itchy.
Yeah. Did you ever find that beard oil?
Ay, ay, ay. Oh my lord. You need to sleep. Are you talking to the audience? Because like you're doing a good job of that.
It pans to the audience in the theaters and everyone's just passed out in their recliners. Yeah.
If that was the goal, you're doing a good job, Denny. This dude's been shot, but he can still look around. low, tense music playing. Also, anyone named Leto is immediately like on our villains list.
Yeah, I know.
Jared Leto does have to earn his way into the bracket this year. I will give a little spoiler for next week.
Oh yeah.
Jared Leto and John Campea are in a rematch in the play-in round.
It's gonna be good.
Security. Oh. He thinks he's like Batman. You know, Batman can say shields and the Batmobile is all covered. Just saying security doesn't bring security to you. Can I help you? Uh-oh. He's got the red mark on him. Sir, I think you have a condition.
Yeah.
Okay, now something's happening. Let's make it really dark and hard to see. Oh, and there's the Death Star.
There we go.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Soldiers screaming. Hey, hey. And now they're
Oh
getting
boy.
it's blown up. And it only took an hour and 20 minutes to get to this point. These weird Mickey Mouse looking ships are here to fuck shit up, apparently.
True.
I started a letterbox last year just to give this movie 1 star. I might give it 1 star again. Oh, okay. Sonic car. Oh, a bargain with the Baron. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. So forced suicide. Right. They're burning palm trees. Palm trees don't burn very well. I don't know why they're going with this particular approach. It's not going to last very long. And Drax is just beating people up. Oh, yeah. Oh, is that Duncan, Idaho?
Oh, that's Duncan, Idaho. Yeah, just imagine Jake Yakoveta like behind the like.
Hey, man, you got any Bud Light?
I picture like, oh, what's the movie where? Yeah, Duncan's fighting like 12 dudes at the same time, and Jake's just fighting one guy. I think it's like in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, Jake's not even fighting a guy. He's just sitting there with the
Yeah,
Bud Light.
yeah. It's Bud Light.
You got any smoke?
Well, then somebody knocks the Bud Light out of his hand, and then, but yeah, like Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum takes out like 6 dudes, and Jonah Hill's fighting like one guy barely.
I'll be back.
I'll let you know what you missed. Spoiler alert, nothing. Duncan, Idaho. Oh boy.
All right, I'm back. Sure, I missed quite a bit.
Well, there was an actual pretty cool Duncan Jones action scene. Probably been the best part of the movie so far.
Yeah. Of course, that's why.
It wasn't that cool. He just took out like 6 dudes and then escaped in one of the helicopters or whatever. In any other movie, it would have been like a fight scene worthy of the first 20 minutes.
Right. Well, this movie just got a little X-rated. Kill him. No, that's a way to go.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's a little demanding for a prisoner. Like, geez.
Yes, it's just Star Wars with those aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's a parachute.
How can you cripple a ship?
That's Jake Yacovetta trying to get in line with the
Disability pass.
Yeah, disability pass. Duncan Jones and Jake Yacovetta spend a day in Disneyland.
Jake Yacovetta goes home. Duncan, Idaho. I just wanted to go do the Spider-Man ride.
Yeah. And it's the bad Spider-Man ride. I just wanted to shoot webs.
Dune is the bad Spider-Man ride of movies. Oh, Poe Dameron.
Oh, damn. All right. I'll be back. Oh. I paused it. That was not. Get back in sync.
The wind is howling.
Yeah. Okay. Paul grunts.
Mm-hmm. We're at the same point now.
Perfect.
This movie. Like, listen, I get people like this kind of shit, but for people like to be praising this as, you know, something of a Star Wars or Lord of the Rings level, fuck that. This is not even close to that shit. If you like it, more power to you. But holy fuck, nothing has happened in this movie. You know, compare this to A New Hope. So we are an hour and 25 minutes into the movie, almost an hour and a half. By this point in Star Wars, A New Hope, you were invested. You knew who each character was. You knew what their motive was, why they were there, their purpose. And here, they're just throwing shit at the wall. And there's like 8,000 characters. You don't give a shit about anybody, maybe slightly Paul Duncan, Idaho, just because his name is so fucking ridiculous. And aside from that, it's there. And this is not a good movie. I'm sorry. It's not a good movie. Yeah, exactly. We have had major plot points already occur in A New Hope. Fellowship of the Ring. They have formed the Fellowship at this point. They are on their way. They're probably, give or take, at the Mines of Moria part. And at this point, you are sucked into the movie. The House of Atreides falls.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, we have we had a. There it is.
I don't know.
Mr. Lancaster, how are we doing tonight?
Well, here.
Wait.
See, I'm doing a bit now. After the third and fourth one, it actually starts to be funny.
We've had all four members of What the Show have made appearances tonight, so that's a
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably
How's
the first time
Dune?
that's happened on a non-Wednesday night.
yeah. Legitimately, that might be true. Aside from the anniversary streams,
Yeah. It's going. Some action's finally starting to happen a little bit here and there, occasionally.
They just started doing stuff.
Dune stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dune.
It's just like, man, that first 45 minutes is a fucking slog.
Remember when he put his hand in the box?
We
Yeah.
talked about the hand in the box extensively.
Quite a
yeah.
bit, actually.
Nick Cage, Book of Secrets.
Nice. That's where they got that from.
We're playing a drinking game whenever Idaho Duncan or Duncan Idaho gets said. Because that's
Idaho.
we want a Jake Yacovetta and Duncan Idaho spin-off like Rick and Morty where it'd be like Duncan. Yeah. Who would be Rick and who would be Morty? I feel like there'd be a lot of
I can't
Crossed.
imagine Jake doing a Morty voice at all.
Speaking of Duncan, Idaho,
yes.
Oh jeez.
Oh geez, Rick. Is there a smoking section in this spaceship?
Sup, Haskell.
I'll pay the security deposit.
All right. I actually have to step away for a minute. The dog is demanding to go outside.
Oh
so
boy.
I will be back.
Or so he says.
Come on.
So, you got a rough time cut for where you're at?
Oh yeah, for sure. About one. It's tough. It doesn't. Yeah, like 138, kind of. Hour 38.
Oh, so they really
So-
haven't started doing stuff yet. Just
Right.
Shawnee's on the screen right now. Zendaya.
No. It's Timothy Chalamet and his mom.
They're about to cut to Shawnee then.
Oh,
right?
now yeah, there she is. Yeah,
Yep.
in like a white Jesus
Yeah.
robe. Yeah.
Zendaya is in fact Jesus. That's the moral of the story. I'm now watching with subtitles. Let's
Yeah, we've been. That's been a big bit too. Is the fact we're both watching with subtitles and we both never do.
see. I like subtitles even if I'm watching with like volume and stuff, right? Because like I can't hear without my subtitles.
Yeah,
It's the coolest Power
This
Ranger.
is cool. Yeah. Sorry.
Michael missing one of the 3 action
I know.
scenes in the first movie.
He went to the bathroom during the when Duncan Idaho takes out like 10 guys and then flies away in the helicopter.
Nice. Duncan Jones. That's his real name now.
Isn't Duncan Jones like the source code director? I gotta look that up now. Yeah,
There's a Duncan Jones.
the Moon source code mute Warcraft guy. But he's
The
also
Warcraft
Indiana Jones' cousin.
director.
Warcraft.
Time has come.
Yeah, you missed the cool futuristic fight, but I assume you'll see it again since it's the future.
Yeah, when it actually happens.
We have upgraded.
Hmm?
Here we go.
Well, I'm drinking a delightful watermelon mint loose leaf tea. So,
Excellent.
Everyone's shouting my name.
I have the best of those two worlds. I have spiked tea.
Like, why do some of these people have like such normal names like Paul or Duncan or Jessica, and then other ones are like
Yeah.
Leto?
Yeah. Yeah. That I did note. That's why Duncan Jones is so funny because it's like
Duncan
Trady's, the Harkonnen, the Hall, like
yeah, you got all these made up shit.
Shawnee, like
So, I mean, it's 40,000
Shamir
years in the future.
Tanat.
So it's like 4 times like what from the Bible to now. So, like
Yeah.
the
More
beginning
info
of
is
the Old Testament.
playing.
Baron Vladimir Harkonnen.
Baron Vladimir.
Harkonnen.
Oh, wait until you see the Emperor in the new movie, man. Nothing will prepare you. Do you know who's playing him?
It's walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. Like, some people were actually complaining about that.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly would. I don't care what movie it is. Christopher Walken's always welcome.
Well, in the okay, so the Sci-Fi Channel original series was a really good adaptation of the book. The person who played the Austin Butler role was a real Shao Kahn type. Give you an idea what he had
Yes.
dealt with. He
those other
he also had like a human Mortal Kombat ninja's vest, like one without a mask. Like that vest, he wore that around. Like it was so good.
Oh, here comes this fucking thing.
Yeah.
All grunts.
Paul grunts. That's the entire Holdovers movie. Paul grunts.
Yo, apparently Paul Giamatti has a paranormal podcast now.
Oh,
Go on.
That's all I know.
Duncan.
Otherwise, I would have been like, guys, let me tell you about Paul Giamatti's paranormal podcast. But I don't know.
So next week at this time, I'll probably be in the theater for Dune 2 because I think my buddy is super into it. He's reading the book, so he's super excited. He's texting me every day. We can't wait for it. So it's gonna be the first like bigger budget movie that I've seen in theaters for a while. I think Ant-Man.
I mean, I guess Wonka would be considered a fairly big budget. That's probably the last big budget movie I saw.
What was it? Sorry.
Wonka.
Okay, yeah. Big budget.
It's probably the Marvels before that for me is the last like big budget. And that's going back to November.
Would you consider Megan big budget?
No, Megan was low budget.
Then
Megan was made for like 20 million, not even 20 million, I don't think.
Then like probably Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, because I'm thinking more, like the epic.
I would say big budget is like 100 million plus at this point.
Yeah. So I think that Ant-Man and the Quantumania or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely
was
up
probably
there.
the last one that I. Because Godzilla -1 was pretty low.
Godzilla -1 was really low.
Yeah.
Like they made that for like 15 million.
Oh, I saw Barbie and Oppenheimer both, so I don't know which it.
Oppenheimer had the big. I'm pretty certain Oppenheimer had the bigger budget of the two.
Oh, they're both like 80, 100.
But they were both big budget. Like that's totally fair to call them both. Oppenheimer, I think, was one of the more expensive movies of last year, if I'm not mistaken. But it made it back.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only movies I saw in theaters like since Barbie and Oppenheimer was Godzilla -1, Killers of the Flower Moon, half of it, and The Iron Claw. I don't think I saw any others.
Iron Claw was pretty low budget.
Yeah, right.
God damn. I thought I was never going to want to watch that movie again. I kind of want to watch that movie again.
I saw it twice. I mean, for a reason, I saw it twice. But the second viewing, though, like I will say, like obviously knowing what was going to happen further in the movie, there is a shitload of foreshadowing in that movie that you don't pick up on the first time.
Here's the weird part. There was a shit ton of foreshadowing in the Von Erichs' lives.
Well, yes,
that they didn't pick up
fair.
on the first time.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh god, this movie's good. Well, I guess okay. I kind of talked about this in the chat earlier. I think it would be the funniest thing, and it's very possible that you hate this movie and you love the second one. Like absolutely hate this as much as you do. Then the second one, you're like, oh my god, it's really awesome.
So I will say one thing, like in a quote unquote positive way. Like you're watching this tonight with the subtitles on has actually like somewhat made things a little bit more coherent for me. Somewhat. However, I still don't like it.
I mean, he's Luke Skywalker, but Anakin lived.
And Luke Skywalker is like probably not my 20 favorite Star Wars characters. So
True. You're not a Luke guy.
No.
But like imagine if like instead of leading the rebellion, like he led a jihad. And they called it a fucking jihad in the book. That's a real thing. That's a totally real thing. Spoilers for Dune 2. Spoilers, well, maybe not for Dune 2, but for a 70-year-old book.
Oh,
right. That's crazy how
Yeah.
Dune was written a hell of a long time ago. Like this scene here looks like it's coming out of like fucking West Side Story or something, and they're gonna go like that, you know.
Could you imagine if the Fremen just started? Lin-Manuel Miranda just shows up, starts rapping. The middle. That's the Dune cameo they don't want you to know about.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. Anya Taylor-Joy was supposed to be a surprise, right? Everywhere. The real cameo is intermission.
Here is the story about Arrakis, and there is a guy named Duncan in Idaho, and I'm gonna rap this.
Oh my god, that is a Lin-Manuel Miranda line.
Here's the thing with this is a weird rant to be going into right now. I don't like his musical style whatsoever. But like then Bethany always tells me all this stuff about him, and it's like she's like, you'd probably be fucking best friends with him, like in terms of your personal interests.
Right? Like I like the guy. I like his voice. When people say they don't like his singing voice, it's like I like that. Like it's just his lyrical content that I'm like.
So here we go again with fucking sound. Like I had to turn you guys up again. There have been parts of this movie that I can barely hear, and now it's drowning you two out.
Right? But
Yeah.
dude, I love the close combat of Dune. The Chris knives and all that stuff. Like it's
There goes
cool.
Duncan, Idaho.
There goes Duncan.
Don't worry, he'll live another 20,000 years.
He's coming back in the spinoff of Jake Yacovetta.
Not in this one, maybe. So, okay. Do you guys know about the fucked up lore of what happens in Dune after like the story of Dune?
No. I'm sure I heard
Okay.
it at some point, but
So Paul has a kid, right? Like fuck up on Paul's story. Paul's kid story is wild because like he decides that he wants to become a sandworm and live on Dune. Like he has people like do surgeries to him to make him into a sandworm. He turns into a worm. Like, you know that meme about, like, would you love me if I was a worm? And
Oh,
then the
yeah.
boyfriend- yeah. Like, that's basically Paul's kid
Probably where it comes from.
to his kids is, would you love me if I was a worm? But also, he doesn't care about his kids. He just wants to be a worm. But, like, they start terraforming Arrakis, so there's, like, grass and shit. So, like, he becomes a sandworm, but he can't explore the whole desert planet because, like, there's grass now.
Oh gosh.
That sounds
Frank
like
Herbert did a lot of drugs.
it's reverse Tusk.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Tusk with consent
Oh man.
and a worm.
Tusk is great.
We should do a Tusk watch along. Like,
Has Justin Long been on the heroes list?
I don't think so. I tried to nominate him this year because of It's a Wonderful Knife, but I don't think he made the list.
Hold on.
Maybe next year.
The heroes list is not finalized. So
There's and here's the thing. There's never gonna be another It's a Wonderful Knife. We say while ignoring Dune.
I'll throw him on there for the time being.
Play and match.
I think there's a few people on here that like he could go over, so
William Harold dropped in with that cocaine is a hell of a drug.
yeah.
Talking about Frank Herbert. Like, he didn't do a lot of coke though. Just a shit ton of psychedelics. Butthole worm.
No. So like these helicopters just turn into bugs.
Yeah, that's a reimagining of the original thing. Like, this isn't something that, like, that's a Denis Villeneuve thing. But this with like the vibrations in the sand and all that stuff and how to trigger the worms and stuff, that's Frank Herbert. So it kind of feels like, for somebody who loved the book growing up, this feels like Stephen King's like reaction to The Shining at some points. Like, this is beautiful. It's good, but it's a much less campy, much more boring interpretation. If that makes.
And
Like, Dune fits more as an anime than like a Western movie to me.
right.
Yeah. The Shai-Hulud. It is so cool. Like, okay, so when the Fremen like summon the worm, right? It reminds me of how, like, another thing that you weren't a big fan of The Last of Us, ants and cordyceps. Like, when ants get infected with like the zombie virus that zombie fungus, whatever, they will separate themselves from humanity and try and get more of that fungus like infection. They'll try and absorb as much of that infection as possible, and like they go on a suicide mission. That's kind of like what it reminds me of, like when the Fremen start pounding on the ground. It's so cool.
Uh-huh. Willy Wonka, what are you doing?
It's also kind of weird that, like in this, like they still use like the metric system. It's a little weird, right?
Yeah. But temperature was done in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, there was Fahrenheit before.
Yo, what's up? The altimeter wasn't metric though. Like,
So, speaking of Jake Iacovetta, Lasagna Vetta, can I read what he just put in the generals chat?
oh god, let's go.
Oh, dear Lord.
I just got challenged to make a TikTok of the Wednesday Addams dance. Guess I know what my day is going to be like tomorrow.
Okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake Iacovetta.
Wednesday Addams. Hey, Wednesday. Do you know where I can get an ounce?
Hey, Wednesday.
Just fuck it.
I left the stove on overnight.
An ounce. That's the thing that still just gets me. An ounce. For 4 days.
For 4 days. Old Jake Iacovetta.
Let him jam. Gonna give him a jam. That's the thing.
And out of this mud bath.
God, it's such a good casting, though. It's just a weird interpretation.
Income. That's the requirement, is income.
I missed William Harold posting this in the chat saying, did she just say she serves Shia LaBeouf? And now every time I hear Shia LaBeouf, god damn. I feel like, do you think we'll get a copyright strike if we listen to Shia LaBeouf after this?
Oh my god, I love that. That's one of the best videos on the internet.
Yeah. Rob Cantor.
We mentioned it, briefly mentioned it, but I guess we never officially said it. Welcome to the Fantasy Football League, William Harold. Like publicly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had a spot open up and you know, I inquired, but that was the first name I had in mind, and yeah, that was like unanimously agreed upon from the What the Show crew. So welcome to the league, buddy.
Oh.
Everybody was more than happy to welcome you into the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
It was the first name that popped into my head.
Mike,
So
yeah, you
that was,
DM'd me, and I was like, absolutely, yeah. Let's not even talk about like any other people that we'd pitch. And
Yeah, I mean, there were a few other names that were brought up, but that was the one that seemed the most obvious to us.
living in the desert, Shia Lud.
William Harold, by
Killing
the way,
for sport, Shia Lud. Eating all
I'll
the
be in
bodies.
Arizona in October.
Actual cannibal Shia Lud.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Living in the desert,
Shia
Shia
LaBeouf.
killing for sport. It works though. Why does it work?
Yep. William Harold,
This-
get a hold of me. I'll be in Arizona. I know, not maybe super close to you, but I will be in Arizona in October. So
You know what a great combo is? AJ, have you ever played Don't Starve video game?
No.
You're like a little, it's kind of like Animal Crossing, except like the horror version.
Ooh.
So you're a little dude on an island and you have to find things to survive. And at the end of the night, like it gets dark and you have to build a fire. And you have like a health meter and then you have like a sanity meter, all the fun stuff. But what's a great combo is playing that Don't Starve, trying to survive, and listening to actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Great
actual
combo.
Cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Killing for sport, Shia Lid.
So we're what, like just over 2 hours into the movie now?
Right close.
Yeah, right about 2 hours into the movie, I think.
Yep, right around. So we're starting to get into like the good part, like when you really think, okay, maybe this movie's turning a corner, like maybe I can get into it, and like it blue balls you like 20 minutes later.
It's exactly in different terms, but more or less exactly the way Bethany described it.
Yeah. But once again, it's a book that like it's written for like the first half is exposition and then it gets good. Like the first, like Fellowship of the Ring. This is reading Fellowship of the Ring as a movie.
But the thing, I actually have read Fellowship of the Ring, and Fellowship of the Ring, you're more invested earlier than you are in this.
Yeah, but like, you know how like they spend like, there's one meal in that book that they spend 15 minutes 15 pages describing.
Yeah.
Yep. They describe the meal in this.
Yeah, but because I just went through the books for the first time since like 5th grade. My favorite parts of the books are the parts where, yeah, they're just like sitting, like they're in Rivendell, or they're like just sitting around like eating and
Rivendell?
drinking and talking. It's like all the action and stuff that's like unsettling because it writes it so well. But
and opposed to that, like Dune is like, well, here's the history of our religion. It's closer to like the Silmarillion. Like you're getting the Silmarillion, and then like you're getting Fellowship of the Ring after, I guess. But it's not a one size fits all thing, I guess.
So, like, literally, we are just now getting to the point where, okay, like, the stakes have raised to the point, like, yes, things have happened that, were explained but not really shown. What, like, oh, this is why this person is important, told to us through dialogue. And now they're finally getting to the point where they're showing you.
By the way, just saying, like one of the most charismatic badasses in this movie, his name is Jameis, and shout out to you, Jameis Winston, if you're watching.
Oh, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, who's free agent, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man.
He's going to be he's not getting a starting gig, but he's going to be highly sought for a backup.
Is he the best backup?
That's a good question.
Drew Lock, then Jameis.
I don't know. Like, Minshew's a damn good backup.
Yeah, Minshew's. They all have different purposes, though. Like, if you need somebody to go in and, like, do the weirdest shit you've ever seen, Jameis. Drew Lock is consistent, and, like, Gardner Minshew's another coach. So,
Like, say what you will about the guy, and like Sam Darnold is a good backup.
yeah. Oh, they're doing the dance. Let me out. Let me out. This is not a dance. I'm crying for help.
I know Juice is just waiting next year to make sure that Joe Flacco is signed to Zach Ertz and Joe Flacco will wind up on Juice's team. That seems like an inevitability.
Yeah, completely.
And I will say that team is
I think he goes back to Cleveland.
Vikings.
The Vikings, it's just a matter of if they actually keep Kirk. If they keep Kirk, they won't take Flacco, because the Vikings are going to draft a quarterback, whether it's in the first or second round. If they keep Kirk, it might be a second round pick. If they don't, they might actually trade up, I think.
Ditch Kirk. Pick up JJ McCarthy, get Flacco.
That's kind of who I think they're going to wind up with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which sucks because I hate the Vikings and I hate the Wolverines, but I think that JJ McCarthy is a good person and a good quarterback.
If he somehow falls, I could see the Rams taking him too, but I don't think he'll fall.
Depends on how Stetson Bennett's rehab is going.
I think Stetson Bennett is a lost cause at this point, I think.
Let me see that butthole. Not Stetson Bennett's. No. I'm talking about that butthole. Let's go. Also, great. Like the special effects in this movie, like cost like half as much as most like blockbusters, like Marvel movies, and like they fucking nailed it.
It's like right this minute, I feel like it's kind of a little hard to see, but like I said earlier, but when we started, I'm like the visual effects and the special effects and that's not the issue with this movie, because the movie looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I've never complained about the look of the movie. The pacing is probably my number one complaint about this movie.
Also, like Denis Villeneuve, don't come out and say that dialogue isn't important.
When
I know
this fucking movie is 90. Well,
like
I agree with you. Like on this, like saying dialogue is important, because like a good chunk of like what I would consider like my top like 20 to 25 movies are heavily dialogue based.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like you're going from a dialogue-driven novel adaptation for your masterpiece, like that you're attempting.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a legitimate question, like, and I know that Dune 2's been done for a long time. Like that movie has been filmed. It's been in the can for a while, and they obviously decided, okay, because they couldn't promote it, to move it. Now that we're at the point where this summer is looking very bleak, why didn't they put, like, I get it, March is not the worst time to do it, but you have this movie that apparently, is getting critically acclaimed and is going to be a blockbuster, and it's like, you
Why
could have,
March?
and the same thing goes for Ghostbusters. Why didn't you move this to like June?
Well, there was originally a second Marvel movie this summer too. I can't remember what it was.
And it was
it was King Dynasty. It was supposed to be King Dynasty this summer.
No, it wasn't King Dynasty. King Dynasty's a ways off.
Like originally though, like when this was being said.
King Dynasty was 2026 to begin with, I thought. There was another Marvel movie, and I'm forgetting what it was.
Fantastic Four. Was it the original Fantastic Four release date? There was something big like that.
Was it fucking Blade?
Well, there was Blade in October, but there was like another tentpole Marvel thing.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Well, they've shifted their release dates around so much. It's hard to even
Hard to remember which.
Maybe
Deadpool was the only one that went into production.
Yeah. And it's like maybe they were trying to dodge like a big Marvel tentpole originally, but like you can still shift back and
I get it. Like, it's like the movie got, and it's the exact same argument is going for Ghostbusters. It got pushed back, not because the movie wasn't done, but because they wanted to promote it, and they both gave dates in March because they had the availability for it, because everything kept getting pushed back. But it's like, if they had the foresight to know what was going to happen, like both Dune and Ghostbusters coming out in May, June, or July would have been gangbusters, probably more so than they will be in March.
Yeah. Just one of those things where you run out of runway and you already start promoting it.
Mm-hmm. And I get, I understand. And both of them were not because the movies needed reshoots or anything. It's because they wanted to properly promote them, and that's valid. Like, I get that.
This movie gets really cool at the end.
Right now we are currently on Call to Action. Hi Dylan. Hi Nat. What's up?
So guys,
we've got maybe 20-ish minutes left of Dune. I still don't like this movie. I think it's still pretty fucking bad. But so maybe I'll move it. Like, I had it at a 1 out of 5. I might move it to a 1.25 out of 5. It's not gone up much.
Oh. Well, and the thing is, I wish you had the score, the experience of the film score with the experience of the subtitles.
Oh yeah.
The score to this movie is objectively fucking awesome.
Oh, and again, not arguing that. Like, the music is really good. The sound mix, Juice and I have been talking about this all night. Like, watching this at home, holy crap, it goes up and down so much.
Yeah. It works on your phone. It works on your phone. I don't know why it doesn't work on a TV. That's also like my experience with Zack Snyder movies. It's just I'm gonna watch it on my phone.
So I actually was anti Zack Snyder a long time ago, and when he got all of the DCEU movies, I was not happy. And so here's the weird thing: I love that first Watchmen trailer that debuted on The Dark Knight in theaters with the Smashing Pumpkins song playing. It's one of the best trailers I think you'll ever see. And I went out immediately, like the week after. I really wasn't exposed to Watchmen. I bought the graphic novel, read it, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the Watchmen graphic novel like almost immediately. And then I saw the movie, and I'm like, oh
no,
it was not what I wanted. And there were parts of it that I liked. I'm like, visually, this looks good, but this pacing is so god awful. And I was like, oh, this is the guy who did 300. And then I saw Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch is Sucker Punch is right up there with the movie I'm currently watching in terms of like least favorite theatrical experiences. I hated Sucker Punch when I watched it in theaters.
So Sucker Punch for me quickly entered that lexicon of like group hangout movies that you have on mute in the background and you have like music playing loudly in the house.
So like, I feel like Zack Snyder, his visual feel is good. He relies so much on slow-mo, and like, he's not a bad cinematographer on. He really isn't, but director, he's terrible.
Yeah, it's
And so here's Zendaya for, reasons.
For the reason of being one of the main characters.
Who gets introduced 2 hours and 15 minutes into the movie.
Yep. Because it's like the first half of the movie. Still, it's a 5-hour movie. This is just the first half. It's like, Jameis, you've seen this, right?
Yeah,
you already know. You already know Jameis isn't going to be in Dune Part 2.
Yeah, no, he's not. I think this movie, like, I don't want to see Part 2. I really don't. After this one burned me as hard as it did. But I understand what everyone's saying. It's like, okay, this whole movie, though, you spent over 2 hours to get to the fucking point.
Well, and I get where you're coming from, because like if the popular narrative was, so that was 2 hours of exposition and we're past that, but the good part's coming, and people were just saying that instead of like, oh, I fucking love this movie, it's so good and I can't wait for more of this. Like, if people were just honest about it.
That was my problem. People were praising this like it was one of the best movies No, this was not one of the best movies of that year.
No, it was fine. like it is fine. It's there's cool parts. It's mostly exposition.
And right about now in theaters was when I kind of sat up a little bit in my seat. And was like, okay, something's finally happening that's of substance.
Yeah, stuff's paying off.
We're 2 hours and 20 minutes into this movie.
Of a 2 hour and 30-minute movie. But it is cool seeing Paul, like, and this is a cool indication of what you get to see in Paul's character in the sequels. That
Paul Giamatti?
Yes.
I wish.
He's this royal pompous little prick, but he grows to be somebody who's like of the people. Just I think is what's cool is he starts fighting like the Fremen, but he's of House Atreides. Like that's what I think is so cool. Is like that's what I think they did right, but we only see that little glimpse, right? I'm like, oh, they say quiz ratch, had a ratch, give a dog a bone. But
Kwisatz Haderach and Duncan Jones.
yes. Oh, yep. James ain't gonna be in Dune Part 2.
No. Here's Jameis. He's a badass, and he's gone.
Yep. The most interesting character in the movie shows up 2 hours and 15 minutes in, 2 hours and 20 minutes later, dead.
Yeah.
Yep. But there's such a cool arc for Paul Atreides. And his kid is so fucking weird. Don't talk about his kid. Don't talk about his kid. Sorry.
Bless you.
Go bless yourself. It's the Marvel shots at the end, too. You know, it's going to be 2 years until we see the next one. And you are doing slow-mo, full-frame character shots.
So it was a bold choice. I mean, this is just taking myself out of the movie stuff. It was a bold choice to have filmed this entire movie without part 2 officially greenlit. Because I know part 2 got greenlit the opening weekend that this came out.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a chance that you were putting a movie out that said Dune Part 1 that hypothetically was not going to have a sequel.
Yeah, there was also a chance that you put out Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
Yeah, well, take a look at Dead Reckoning Part 1, which apparently now is going to have a second title for the sequel.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like,
And, I being one of the people who like genuinely loved the first one and was excited about part 2, and from a marketing perspective, apparently Paramount's like, this killed the movie. I'm like, but no, everybody's saying now they're at the point where
Desert Power.
It's starting to get interesting. Yep.
Sorry, I'm a couple seconds ahead. It's so abrupt.
Yeah.
It's
all right. Juice, give your thoughts for rewatch.
I don't know, man. I still don't have no idea what I just saw.
Right.
There was a sand monster. There were some dunes. There was some spice. And a few people were nice. A few people were not nice.
I don't understand any of that.
Yeah. This is where I'm coming from, and my opinion has not changed a lot. I will say, bizarrely, watching it with the captions on probably did help me a little bit, which is weird for me to say, but yes, I think it did. This isn't a movie. Like, this is a preamble. Like, this is not at all a movie. Like, it's literally just the place setting. It's the appetizer. It's not a full movie. And so much of it is tell, don't show. That I still, this is not something that I think I'm ever going to have any urge to revisit. You know, I did it for this purpose. But the movie as a whole, this is not a standalone movie whatsoever. And that's an issue.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like I mentioned how, like, I love the book. I love the sci-fi miniseries too. This is, for me, it's only adapting the first half into a movie and leaving it right there where they left it. And like, there's a lot of great things there, but this is like a 3 out of 5 adaptation for me. Of the source material. Like, it's pretty good, but it's dry, it's long, and you gave us just the boring part.
It's dull. And that's my problem. And I've said this before. The worst thing a movie can be to me is boring. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this movie was.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I don't even know what a jabroni is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duncan, like part 2, I'm not my opinion has not changed any at all. Like, maybe I don't see myself going to see part 2. I don't know. Maybe I will change my mind. I don't see it, like, right now. Maybe I'll see it. I don't think so, though.
So
if I get Dune in the box, like, because Dune 2 would be part of the box office game.
It's not eligible because it's
right.
It has to be from May through
the
end of July release.
I was gonna say I could get a Duncan Idaho custom Detroit Tigers jersey or something.
Detroit Tigers
or so.
Oh, man, what would be the funniest juice to get from that perspective?
You know, I think if Duncan Idaho played anywhere, I think he'd be like edge rusher for UTEP.
The funniest movie for you to get, like, juice, if you were going to make a fake jersey or something, is probably Despicable Me 4.
But
hey, I survived the Dune Part 1 watch along.
Didn't even complain that much.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Who would watch all of Dune?
Yeah, the first bit was pretty rough.
Apparently, I'm the only one who's dumb enough to do this, but whatever.
Hashtag Dune Challenge, let's go!
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
jabroni.